Over the years, film star Christian Bale has delivered some of the most electrifying performances in cinema history. A consummate professional, Bale has played some of the most memorable characters that we've ever seen, and some of these characters have been no walk in the park for the actor to take on. So, stay tuned and don't go away, because Christian Bale reveals why it was easier to play Gorr in Thor 4 than it was to play Batman in The Dark Knight. First up, how could playing Thor's Gorr possibly be easier to play than Batman? Well, you're about to find out. Bale has played a wide range of characters throughout the decades-long film career that he has, and this includes his role as Gotham City's caped crusader, Batman. Bale will always be known among comic book superhero fans for playing the wealthy and mysterious Bruce Wayne in Christopher Nolan's extremely successful Dark Knight trilogy. Bale even worked alongside the late Heath Ledger, who gave a dazzling performance as Batman's arch-nemesis, the Joker. Bale finally transitioned from Batman's DC universe to Marvel's Cinematic Universe and joined Thor: Love and Thunder as Gorr the God Butcher. During his career, Bale has played both good guys and bad guys. But can you guess which type he prefers to play? If you guessed bad guys, you'd be right. Bale prefers playing bad guys because it's more fun, and he also finds them easier to play. In a recent interview, Bale said, "They do, absolutely. They not only have more fun, but they're easier to play. Because everybody is fascinated with bad guys, right? The minute the bad guy walks on screen, no one's looking at the good guy anymore. All eyes go to the bad guy. So it's a much easier acting gig." Fans were excited when Bale announced that he would be playing Gorr the God Butcher. Fan excitement, though, turned to frustration because when the film finally came out, Gorr barely resembled the very alien-looking creature made popular in the comic books. Next up, what was Gorr from the original Marvel Comics really like? Let's find out. When Thor: Love and Thunder was released, fans of the original Marvel Comics depiction of Gorr wasted little time voicing their displeasure. After all, this was Gorr's film debut, so obviously fan expectations were high. Marvel Studios chief Kevin Feige recently spoke out and gave fans his rationale for changing Gorr. In the comic books, Gorr is clearly not human. He's an alien wearing a black cloak, with tentacles dangling from his head. According to Feige, making Gorr's comic book accurate in Love and Thunder would have required extensive use of motion capture and CGI. Feige felt that the motion capture and CGI tricks would have had a negative impact on Bale's performance, and essentially weaken it. For Feige, changing Gorr the God Butcher's design was a deliberate choice of performance over accuracy. This was a difficult choice for Feige to have made, but in the end, it was the right call. Why? Because a CGI-heavy Gorr might have more closely resembled the character's comic book appearance. However, the world would have missed out on what turned out to be a very strong and complex performance by Bale. In Love and Thunder is depicted as a grief-stricken man who is given the chance at vengeance, but in the end returns to his humanity. This gave Bale's Gorr a full character arc and enabled Bale to portray Gorr's full range of emotions. In essence, Bale's Gorr is a bad guy who's thirsty for revenge, but he's also a redeemable bad guy. Next up, what are the best top 20 Christian Bale movies of all time? Let's take a look. Coming in at number 20 is 2009's Public Enemies. The film tells the true story of John Dillinger, the infamous 1930s outlaw bank robber. Bale co-stars opposite Johnny Depp, who plays the famed bank robber. Bale plays FBI agent Melvin Purvis, assigned to track down Dillinger and bring him in, dead or alive. Bale and Depp show the similarities between the two men, even though they only briefly share the screen together. Coming in at number 19 is 2002's Reign of Fire. Set in the post-apocalyptic world of 2020, medieval creatures emerge from their ancient slumber to become the dominant species on Earth. The humans that have survived are led by two very different men, Bale's Quinn Abercrombie and Matthew McConaughey's Denton Van Zandt. Both Bale and McConaughey deliver excellent performances in Reign of Fire. Coming in at number 18 is 2002's Equilibrium. Bale's performance in this non-stop dystopian thrill ride was terrific. Imagine a world where the survivors of World War III have formed a totalitarian government that keeps humans from feeling emotions. In the city-state of Libra, the government has assigned a group of law enforcement officers to terminate any sense offenders in their society. Bale's character, John Preston, is a senior officer who begins to see the error of his ways. Stay tuned and don't go away as we continue to reveal the best movies of Christian Bale's career. Next up, what happened when Bale teamed up with director Terrence Malick? Well, you're about to find out. Coming in at number 17 is 2015's Knight of Cups. The film centers around a depressed Hollywood screenwriter named Rick, played by Bale, who contemplates his life and mourns the death of his brother by indulging in drugs and seemingly wandering throughout life on autopilot. Bale gives Rick a deep sense of sadness, and he doesn't know what he wants or what he's looking for. Malick's style isn't for everyone, but Bale's presence certainly makes the film better. Coming in at number 16 is 2013's Out of the Furnace. The film centers around Bale's character, Russell Baze, who works at a steel mill in North Braddock, Pennsylvania. Russell's life is essentially joyless, but he does care about his brother Rodney, a veteran of the Iraq War, suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. When Rodney disappears, Russell sets out to find his beloved brother. Coming in at number 15 is 1985's Empire of the Sun. Bale began his career at age 12 in Steven Spielberg's world World War II epic Empire of the Sun. It's a coming-of-age story about the loss of innocence as the realities of war is witnessed through the eyes of a child named Jim Graham. During Japan's invasion of China, the Graham family tries to evacuate, but Jim is separated from his parents and becomes a prisoner of war. Up next, did Bale play a role in a movie about famed American musician Bob Dylan? Let's have a look. Coming in at number 14 is 2007's I'm Not There. Director Todd Haynes' I'm Not There tells the story of Dylan's life by focusing on 6 of his different personalities. One of those personalities was Jack Rollins, played by Christian Bale. Bale explores a fascinating period when Dylan was responding to the social and political changes of the 1960s. Coming in at number 13 was 2004's The Machinist. Bale lost 62 pounds to play Trevor Resnick, who experiences frightening visions that question his sanity. Director Brad Anderson tells the story in a non-linear style, and when Trevor is blamed for a workplace accident in which one of his fellow machinists loses an arm, he is quickly fired. Trevor feels guilty, but he's unable to locate the source of his feelings. Sitting in at number 12 is 2017's Hostiles. In this modern western and future classic, Bale plays war veteran Captain Joseph J. Blocker, assigned to transport the Cheyenne Chief Yellowhawk to his ceremonial home before he dies, and must travel alongside a battalion of soldiers and Yellowhawk's family. The tension between Blocker and Yellowhawk subsides as they both reflect on how they've helped perpetuate the conflict between the indigenous peoples and the so-called White Eyes. Finally, what are the top 11 best Christian Bale movies? To save time, we've condensed our top 11 list. Coming in at number 11 is 2006's Rescue Dawn. Bale stars as German-American pilot Dieter Dengler, held captive by the People's Liberation Army after his plane is shot down over Laos. Sitting in 10th place is 2007's 3:10 to Yuma. Bale plays rancher Dan Evans, who takes on the dangerous task of transporting the ruthless bounty hunter Ben Wade to a train that will take him to prison. In 9th place is 2005's The New World. Bale plays John Rolfe, who's married to Pocahontas, but she can't get Colin Farrell's John Smith out of her mind. Coming in at number 8 is 2019's Ford vs. Ferrari. Former racer Carroll Shelby enlists top racer Ken Miles, played by Bale, to drive the new Ford vehicle designed to break Ferrari's winning streak at Le Mans. In 7th place is 2006's The Prestige. The film follows a competitive rivalry between two illusionists, Hugh Jackman's Robert Onge and Bale's Alfred Borden. The two start off as allies, but things quickly spiral out of control. In 6th place is 2013's American Hustle. Bale stars as the notorious con artist Irving Rosenfeld, who succeeds in aiding the FBI in a fraud case alongside his partner Sidney Prosser that ties in New Jersey politicians, international arms dealers, and the mafia. In 5th place is the year 2000's American Psycho. Bale plays Patrick Bateman, one of the most complex psychopaths in modern movie history. Bale's Bateman shows us how even the most seemingly successful people can harbor a sadistic dark side. In 4th place is 2018's Vice. Bale plays for Vice President Dick Cheney, one of the most controversial figures in U.S. politics, who found himself in the halls of power during the September 11th attacks. Coming in at number 3 is 2010's The Fighter. In this true story, Bale plays Dickie Eklund, who trains his brother, famed boxer Mickey Ward, played by Mark Wahlberg. In 2nd place is 2015's The Big Short, also a true story. Bale plays Dr. Michael Burry, the brilliant analyst who decides to short the housing market. Burry has trouble communicating and connecting emotionally, and Bale's portrayal is stellar. And coming in at number 1 is 2008's The Dark Knight. This film needs no introduction, and Bale plays the iconic superhero Batman. That's a wrap for today's video. Thanks for watching.